Hey, are we live? Oh, starting. The box says we're starting live. It says that we are live. You guys and girls and people of every kind, shape, color, and sizes. Welcome to a live stream. It's actually been a long time, I feel like, since we've been live. And what's amazing is there's actually no computer right here because, well, truth be told, this live stream is so that I can test out this little box right here, which is the Teradek Vidiu X, which just got released today. They sent me a preview copy. I haven't had a whole lot of time to test it other than doing like a couple of like quick things. But it's an amazing little box where you can, it does all the encoding and all the streaming work, and you don't need a computer at all to stream to YouTube or Facebook or, well, I mean, you can RTMP, and I don't know if they have Twitch though, which is interesting. But anyway, fantastic little box that we'll get into the history here. But what I'm trying to figure out is you download an app and you can control it with the app. You can control it with a computer too if you happen to have a computer. It just means that you need at least one less computer to do your live streaming. And in the tests I did, at least to Facebook, it looked incredible. But I'm going to see if I can load up my Creator Studio from my phone. I've most of the time when I've been live, I've done it from my using a computer, which I have if I need to. But I want to see if there's a way, can I somehow answer comments and see what's going on live from my app? Well, it's not Creator Studio. Is it on YouTube? Is it you trying to sign in? Yes, that was me. It me. Hold on. No, don't watch on TV. I'm probably going to pull up my computer. This is actually the fun part about playing around with technologies. You just get to try stuff and you never know exactly how it's going to work. Dave Mace! Dave! All right, I've got to the comments. Hold on, I got to turn off the sound. I don't want this whole thing. Ooh, it is aggressively warm on my, oh, that could be my night mode on my phone. I got a new phone today, iPhone. Well, I had the 12 mini, and then I returned it after 6 days with it because it is just, it's too small in the battery life. I couldn't two-hand text. Anyway, I just got the regular 12, but I'm not really used to it yet. This looks pretty good. I mean, objectively speaking, I would say looks quite solid. Yeah, wow. New Olympus EM 1 Mark II. I will say, Dave, maybe you can help me figure this out. It is very finicky about what, when you plug it HDMI in, of what settings you had it on. Like I tried doing 4K 30 and output via HDMI, and whatever I connect it to, it just basically says it doesn't work, which is, I haven't run into that before. So I had to put it back to 1080p 30, and it just feels like it's very fiddly with it. Anyway, oh, what AC adapter did you get? I didn't get the AC adapter yet, so I'm just running on the big battery. So this won't be longer than probably 60 or 90 minutes. Regardless, I'm not planning on being live. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the box that we're using right now. So maybe by way of a little bit of history, how many years ago? 3? 4. I think it was 2017. Yeah, probably 27. No, it was 2016. Anyway, 3 or 4 years ago, I had noticed that the Facebook algorithm, if you went live, it would give you like 3 times the amount of viewers than if you just posted a video to Facebook. And I was like, I want to do a live show where I hook up fancier cameras, because at that point, everybody was just doing like shaky, like Facebook lives from their phones. And I was like, I want to do like a Facebook show. But I was like, I wasn't into the whole like Twitch wasn't nearly as big as now back then as it is now, because I mean everybody's streaming themselves playing video games, but there weren't as many tools. And so I had like, where's this thing? Later down the road, this capture card, which just takes HDMI and puts in your computer, was like $300 and some. Now you can get something for like $25 that does this, but your computer still has to do the processing power. Anyway, back then I had a Vidiu GO, which is basically the same box, just an older version, and that's what I launched our Justin and Greg Facebook Live show on. And we ended up working with Facebook, and they sent us a $5,000 encoder, which this is not, that was built for Facebook, and it started this wild world. But I have like this soft spot for these little Teradek boxes because they basically have HDMI, at least this one has HDMI in, HDMI out. So you can bring in and then you can go out to a monitor, which I would have done, but I ran out of time. Ethernet cable, but it also has Wi-Fi, so you can connect however you want to the internet. It has this little USB-C power cable. It does have a separate line input if you want to mix separately instead of just sending the audio over HDMI. It also has an SD card slot, so I'm recording this as well at the same time, which is kind of cool. But the big thing is it has a USB port on the side where you can plug in a modem to it, like a 3G, 4G, maybe even 5G USB modem now. And it's really meant for mobile streaming, that you could just take this box absolutely anywhere, plug in HDMI from your camera, and just go live. Just go live. And you can actually, technically, I've had to do this before, which is crazy, do absolutely everything from just this front control panel with this little multi-selector switch. You can sign into YouTube, sign into Facebook. You can write your descriptions for your live streams, which I have done, which is very painful, but it is possible. Again, as well as there's a fancy little app, which I will pull up right here, Vidiu app. And if it works, then you can connect to the device, although it was working earlier and then it stopped working right before the live stream. And I don't know if I'm like not on the right network between these two, and I'll need to check it out. I have it also up on my computer. You can just type in the IP address, but you basically just kind of control it all from your mobile devices. But the whole point is that typically streaming requires a powerful computer to do the processing. And even when you get any kind of capture card, you're then putting extra stress on your computer. And even a card like this drops frames regularly, so it seems a bit choppy. Whereas, at least in my testing, I'll have to see afterwards. You guys let me know, how does the video look? Is it smooth? Is it nice? Does it look good? I'm curious. So, looking for a replacement for Blackmagic Web Presenter, which only does 720. You need a computer, lol. Yeah, so, I mean, Blackmagic has their new Atom Mini, which is like a whole HDMI switcher with multiple devices and as a capture card. But again, you need a computer. But the only thing that you're going to be limited with a box like this is that there's no, I guess you can send it RTMP to a computer and then do like separate screens and intros, outros, but I don't think that's really the point. I think the point is if you just need a super simple mobile live streaming thing where you don't want to bring computers and 3G modems, or you're worried about the Wi-Fi signal or all that kind of stuff, this is just kind of your one-stop shop. Throw it on top of the camera. It comes with a little cold shoe mount. So you just put it right on top of the camera, plug in, go live, which is, yeah, actually pretty cool. Paul Feinberg, sup? Is it Feinberg or Feinberg? Paul Feinberg. Oh, Rita, been using the Blackmagic Atom Mini Pro. But what I've been looking for is some sort of device to just take my stream and live stream it without having a switcher built in. Yeah, so, I mean, this is the kind of box that would just kind of work. So if you just want to go live, it just works. I think you get a lot more flexibility being able to use a capture card going into like an OBS studio, but that becomes a whole other separate production, which is interesting. Fine, Paul Feinberg. I'm just looking at the video here. Is it choppy? I'm just going to wave my hand here for a second. The other thing that, you know, you ultimately end up with these boxes is the amount of lag between when something happens in the real world and by the time it makes it all the way back around here. I think usually it's about 15 seconds, and I'm just kind of it's about 15 seconds delayed, which I'm running the YouTube in the like lower latency mode, I think. So it's just the box. It's just the time to process it, send it out to the internet, do all sorts of its things. So if you're doing something where you need like real time, you know, it may not be it, but I need to look up, I actually need to see what the price of this box is, because I think it's around $6.99, which when you're comparing it to building an entire computer or getting a computer, definitely I would say cheaper than that. Vidiu X, Teradek Vidiu X. Do they have it on Treadle? I don't want a Treadle. Oh, autocorrect. Teradek. No, Terafec. Not Terafec. Teradek Vidiu X. Oh yeah, new release, $6.99 US. So, I mean, for an entire box dedicated for streaming that you can throw on top, not bad. Not bad. Whew. Paul Feinberg, so you're no longer working at the airport. Did I hear that last video right. Yeah, I basically, on my birthday, January 11th, I handed in my notice for the airport that I wouldn't be working there anymore, but I've worked out a contract. You may not know this, but airports aren't super busy right now. And, you know, I came from kind of the consulting, working for myself world. And so this just gives me an opportunity to continue to do work for the airport that they need done. But there's lots of businesses and people out there right now that need a ton of help figuring out how to navigate the new world. And that's like 15 years in marketing and tech. I'm not like even video. I don't have a background in video photography. I just taught myself as a part of my own marketing technology interests. So yeah, I'm going back to the consulting world and speaking and doing sessions and just teaching people how to create content, navigate the internet, make an impact. That's my goal anyway. We'll see. So it's also throwing me off knowing that you're going to hear that about 15 seconds afterwards, but all good. The big issue that I had with the previous version of this, the Teradek Vidiu GO, I think it was called. I have a video on it a few years ago. I'd have to look. I think it was called the GO. It just did not have the processing power to actually keep up. And I believe there was a pro version at the time for a chunk more money, but the basic one, like if you left the phone app running connected to the box with Wi-Fi on, your stream could drop or freeze or glitch because it just wasn't processing well enough. Whereas this one, I'm sure over the years, processing power is probably way heftier. Again, I'm recording to an SD right now and streaming 1080p out to YouTube with the Wi-Fi on, connected to my phone app, as well as connected to my laptop over the network. So there's a lot going on right here, and it seems like it's pretty solid and smooth. I could have tried 60 frames per second. I just did 30 frames per second, but seems like it's working pretty well. It's a pretty cool little box. I mean, for me, the biggest thing about live streaming that separates the amateurs to the people. This is funny because I swear this is every single video from, I don't know, just like companies on the internet that aren't super social savvy, is you always get that first little bit of a video where you almost hear somebody say like, okay, go. Or it's kind of like they don't realize you can just like edit out the first second of the video so it just starts right into it. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but it's like somebody staring at a camera for like a full second and then they go into their video. It's kind of the same thing with live streaming where the intro and being live, knowing exactly when you're live and being able to just start is hugely important. Or what a lot of people do is they start a countdown video, play the countdown video, and then go into it, which lets you be smooth. But in order to do that, you need either a computer or, well, you need a computer. You need something to run graphics. Although, and I haven't investigated this fully, is I believe there's some software integrations with this where you can sign up for a service, you can stream to multiple platforms with Vidiu. I know you can do that, so you could be live on a couple of different platforms if their terms of service allow it. But you can also integrate some graphics and other pieces of hardware into it to kind of create this whole streaming ecosystem, which is kind of neat. But again, the purpose of this box is really simplicity. If you want to do a whole big production, you're going to do a whole big production. But if you just want to be able to go live fairly easily, like we did tonight, other than I was a little bit late because I'm having quite the time, technically, where, what was my stream still going? Or is that my app frozen? I think we're okay. Anyway, my 16-inch MacBook Pro won't charge. Just will not charge. I've confirmed the charger and the cord. It's only like 5-6 months old. Just won't charge. Apparently that's a thing that can happen. And then I have another machine from work, which is a 6-core dedicated graphics Lenovo 4K OLED screen, like $4,000 high-end laptop. And Photoshop will barely run on it. Like something is screwed up, but it takes about 5 minutes for Photoshop to open, and you click something and you have to wait 4 or 5 seconds, and then you click your next thing and you wait, and I just have no good working computers, and I need to create a thumbnail. So anyway, that's my life. That's my life. But I think I would say I think the test so far has been successful. I'm curious to actually look at the video afterwards and see, like on my Olympus right now, things are pretty pink, I would say. Like I've got it set on like a vivid, but when I preview it more so on my computer, what I'm seeing here is a lot more like warm and even just kind of greenish tones too. Like it's actually, I would say, I think I actually like the processing that's gone through. YouTube seems to make absolutely everything more red, which is always fascinating and amazing. Not really, but good. Anyway, I don't know whether I'm not seeing any comments. I'm going to try and reload this and see if that's, no, just nobody commenting. It's fine. I'm not offended. This isn't like a super high-tech stream. Just wanted to check this out. Now I'm like, oh, will this kill my last video because I posted this? I hate the algorithms for stuff like that. Anyway, I just wanted to pop on, test it out, see what's happening. Seems like it's working. I'm probably going to leave it at that and say, hey, it was a success. So to the few of you that jumped on the stream, thank you very much. It's good. No one's commenting. Yes, thank Paul. Okay, anyway, guys, it's been a fine Tuesday evening. The device is reasonably hot. Quality looks good. Happy to hear that. I would say, yeah, seems like it's doing a pretty decent job. I don't even have the camera in 4K, which would sharpen it up a good chunk. I'll figure that out later. Anyway, thanks, Paul and Dave earlier on. You probably left, though. Feels warm under the lights. I'm going to end it there, I think. Can I end it on the box? Let's see here. Ooh, I'm going to hit this. Oh, complete broadcast. Yes, we're going to complete the broadcast.